few minutes or a few seconds to see people join.
As I just reply to all the all the lovely people in my mentions right now.
I don't understand why people are bitter about it. Like he's a grown
man.
And
Grown
once
man.
you knew that Calgary was off the table, it was just kind of like, why wouldn't you like get your bitterness out then? People drive me crazy.
Is there a link that I can share so that hopefully some of these lovely people come in and chat with us?
It's on my Twitter.
All right, I will go find it.
Yeah, because I set it up so we could go live on my Twitter and
it's a Twitter stream too. I love that.
Oh my god.
Here we are.
JJ. My sweet.
Oh, I'm clapping at everybody. I don't even care who. All right, we got people watching on Twitter, so
hello everyone.
We can probably get a move on and address the elephant in the room here on Locked On Flames.
Yeah, so this guy, Johnny Gaudreau, he signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets of all teams. My initial reaction was, it's not New Jersey.
Yep. It's not New Jersey. Philly's been out for quite some time. So I'm surprised that it was Columbus.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because quickly, before we go too far into it, on my way home from work, Sarah Valley was on Sportsnet 960, and he knew that it was going to be New Jersey and the Islanders and then a mystery team once Philly was gone. What he didn't know was that mystery team was going to be the Columbus Blue Jackets and that they were actually going to sign him. He thought that it was going to be a negotiation tactic. Little did he know it was the place that he was going to call home for the next 7 years. So, it's sorry. I'm just constantly going through Twitter here too, because there's so much.
There's so much happening here.
There's so much going on. So I guess we can start with just the contract.
Yeah.
Which, let me bring it up because I've been too busy. It's 7 times 9.725.
Something like that.
Let me bring up the Friedman tweet.
Yeah. I don't understand how. I don't know.
7 times 9.8 is what Friedge is reporting. And everybody else now reporting as well that it's all salary, no signing bonus. So we are
all right.
We're a little confused on that part.
But yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't.
Because I understood, from what I understood, they were hanging up like.
Yeah.
The last thing with the Devils was they were hung up on the term and the bonus structure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder what changed or what I don't know. I don't really know. It was a curveball.
It was. And you know what? Everyone that's giving him a hard time about the number one, being closer to home. I'm going to assume that you've never looked at a map. You don't know major airports.
You don't know modes of travel.
Right. There's just Columbus, Ohio is not. I know Calgary's called Cowtown, so I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's not the Boondocks, the Cowtown, like nothing going on. It is a very built up city that is honestly like one of, I don't want to say a travel destination, but a lot of younger people enjoy traveling there because it is very modern and it's fun. And Johnny Gaudreau is, like you said before we started recording, a low-profile guy.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, who cares?
I don't know why people don't understand this.
It's a personal decision, and I am sure that the glitz and the glamour that come along with playing in a big market like Philadelphia, like the Islanders, like New Jersey, does not outweigh the negatives that come along with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
The state of the Philadelphia Flyers organization is absolutely in disarray. I don't know
Chuck
what they're doing.
Fletcher hockey, baby.
I just, you move all this money to do what?
I don't know. You and I were going back and forth throughout this whole thing because we had some information that was shared
Yeah.
with us, and Philly was definitely one of, if not the, front runners for quite some time. I think it was no secret he wanted to go there. But they just couldn't get it done. They had a lot of money tied up elsewhere. I thought that it was going to be easier for them, but apparently everybody else was like, we don't want JVR because we know what you're doing. The Lindblom buyout, though, was reported to us. Was
Mhm.
or not reported, but we knew about that Lindblom buyout. We talked about it. It was reported. It was told to me, and that was one of the things I kept quiet on. I told you. I told a couple others, but I just referred to it as a sneaky buyout because it really was kind of.
That wasn't the buyout. I
That
don't
wasn't.
think
Yeah,
people saw that coming.
yeah,
But I will say the $100,000 donation was a nice touch, but also kind of gross to
yeah.
just
Bringing in Tony DeAngelo and getting rid of Oscar
like
Lindblom.
I just
What?
don't understand what
Didn't
that
make any sense. Didn't make any sense. But
no,
Philly, like I thought they could have put Ellis on LTIR. I thought
right?
they could have maybe
You literally
Provorov.
said that to me in one of our conversations before yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I thought for sure that because I've heard some things about him in Philly as well, and I know that the injury is a little more uh intricate than most people think. So maybe I thought he was destined for LTIR. There's some money there. I thought Provorov would have benefited from a fresh start, and he makes a good chunk of money too. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. There's a player that you could have dumped that salary too, but I guess it was just at the end of the day, it was too difficult. And you talked about it. These states a lot better than I do because I'm obviously being in the Great White North, don't make it down there so much, but from what you've said and from what a lot of other people have told me about New Jersey, maybe not the best place to raise your family or want to
Not
go
in Newark.
to
Not
settle
in
down.
no. No. Newark, New Jersey. And again, no offense to the Gaudreaus who live in South Jersey. That's a lot different. But you're 45 minutes, not even outside of New York City. You're near Connecticut, which you could, it's a wealthier part of Connecticut, so you could commute every
Mm-hmm.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous homes, but are you gonna want to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours each way?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
So
He was a 10-minute drive,
yeah,
if that, from the Saddle Dome at his residence in Calgary.
right. So
He was
why
very close.
exactly? And yeah, okay. Is he gonna hop on an Amtrak train to New York City after a game? Like, no. He's not, it just doesn't make sense. And people are saying, well, what's there to do in Ohio? Again, there's plenty to do in Ohio. Like,
I'm
I'm
sure there is. Like
I'm sorry
I'm
to
sure
destroy a
Ohio.
market.
I'm sure Ohio is a much better place than people shape it out to be.
Yeah,
I've never been myself. I would love to. I think that'd be sweet. I know the Blue Jackets have a passionate fan base.
yeah.
Um, you know, and I don't know. Like I haven't looked. Like honestly, I haven't done too much of a deep dive into anything yet. I kind of want to look at Columbus and see, what they're left with now and what they can do going forward to maybe build around John or whatever. One comment on YouTube: Are we all bitter? Quite the opposite.
Yeah, I'm like
Like
okay
actually,
with it.
quite the opposite. We knew he wasn't coming back to Calgary. We knew that for quite some time now. Um, yeah. So there's another
Yeah,
comment. His wife is
exactly.
pregnant, and Columbus is a great town to raise a family. I can't
And
blame him.
they
And
also have a Legoland. I mean, I just
that's
Googled
enough to
things to
get
do
me to
in
go to
Columbus.
Columbus. Um, No, we're not bitter. At least I don't want to speak for you, but I'm fairly certain we're both on the same page that we're not bitter. We knew that this was going to happen.
Mhm.
when they reported that he wasn't going to be coming back to Calgary. Whatever.
Yeah.
At this point, it's no sweat off my back because he was already not going to come back. He made his decision up. I can't fault a man for putting his family first and trying to better his life and better his family's life. As Adam Wild is texting me now, how are you guys holding up? all the SDP guys are starting to message us and see how we're doing. But you know what? You can't fault a guy for putting his family first and wanting to go somewhere where it's, going to hopefully be better for his family. But at the end of the day, too, I've said this about players in the past and about people, about, YouTubers and stuff like that from my past. John the person comes before John the hockey player. Exactly. So at the end of the day, if he's going to do something that betters him as a person and betters his family, betters their opportunities, makes them happier, better on their mental health, by all means, I'm never going to it's no sweat off my back. I'm still bitter because, and especially for you, I know that John was a very big part of you wanting to come and cover this team.
Yeah, he was like the main player that I was like not infatuated, but was fascinated.
I get what you're trying to say.
Idea, like this little 5'9" player is just so dominant, and fans were still unhappy about him. And I think, again, on top of the family stuff, his wife is a nurse. She's not. Now, I'm not dogging on wives who stay home and raise the family, but she's very career driven from what I've heard. And if she wants to go to work and work in a hospital, okay, cool. Let her do that. John's not going to say, no, Meredith, you stay home. I'm the breadwinner now. Just as far as I'm concerned, every hockey player, don't bail on us like John. No, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. No, I just took out a car loan. I have to.
I have no choice.
Yeah, but no, I didn't. Even before I did that, I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I enjoyed doing this every day. But, it's hockey players, athletes, anyone who does like a super talented thing is still a human being. They're just exceptionally good at a talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. They're still human beings. They still experience emotions. They go through life just like everyone else, but they also have to make these decisions for their family.
Right. Like looking at it now, like if I was in John's shoes, I probably wouldn't go back to Ontario. But that's my decision. I wouldn't want to go back home. Like, home is here now. I'm from Ontario originally, but I wouldn't do it. But I know a lot of people who value that kind of stuff, right? Like, my parents are out here now, my family, and it would be different if, my parents were still there, my brother was still there. I got one set of grandparents out there. It would be different. A comment here, I'm more just insulted of all the places he picks is Columbus. I mean, we are a better team than Columbus.
But you're not a 90-minute plane ride from Columbus.
But you're not, exactly. And let me just pull the information up for all the people that are so worried about the fact that he didn't sign. Did you really sign close to home? Calgary to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. 37-hour drive via the I-94.
Apparently that's how he's getting to Columbus too.
Right, but let's
just driving.
Let's just pretend we're in the Stone Ages or whenever that was, and he's going by horse and buggy or in modern terms a vehicle. So 37 hours via the I-94 East from Calgary to Philadelphia. From Columbus, Ohio to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 7 hours and 35 minutes via the I-70 East and the I-76. I don't know what those highways
I've
are.
done that drive. It's a long drive, but it's fun. It's a nice road trip.
Yeah. So look, flights. Let me see. Can I do this on Google? Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Either way,
shows you
there it is. Yeah, you're right. There's a flight section here. I just need to know how long it is. It's an hour. It's saying like an hour 51. I don't know if I trust Google that much, but either way, it's a lot closer. It may not be directly in Philadelphia, or it might not be in New Jersey, which is closer. It might not be in Where else was he rumored to go?
Long Island.
Long Island might be not on Long Island, but either way, it's still technically closer to home. He didn't lie, or his you know, he's still
There was
closer
no
to home.
deception there.
No, like he didn't, like that's still correct. It's still correct.
Right.
Mr. Deeds, I'm bitter that Brad has no backup plan and we're left with nothing, and Kachuk isn't even a lock. I don't know if I buy that so much, that he's left with no backup plan, because okay, this is something I actually
Roger's
wanted
still
to
on the
touch.
market.
He is, but this is something I actually wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
In regards to this specific point about being left with no backup plan and replacing Gaudreau. The entire time, everybody, throughout this whole process, everybody was talking about, oh, you can't go and just replace Gaudreau. You can't just sign a guy and he can't do what Gaudreau did, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're right. You can't, and you won't. So, like, what's the big deal if he doesn't sign up to the, if he says he's not going to sign 2 weeks ago, or he says he's not going to sign last night, the day before, or a few hours before free agency opens, it doesn't matter. You're still not replacing him.
Right.
You can't replace him. You won't replace him. So what's the big deal? I get it. You missed out on Forsberg. Okay, well, he's going back to Nashville, whatever. You missed out on whoever. Like, I don't even really know who else the Flames were really linked to.
No one.
Apparently right now it's Kadri. A lot of people are thinking that the Flames are linked to Kadri. But either way, it's like what's your point with that? If he wasn't coming back, he wasn't coming back. Clearly, it wasn't the money. The Flames, he's leaving $15 million on the table from the Flames offer at $84 million over 8 years, $10.5 million a year, to sign for $68 million over 7 years in Columbus. So clearly, it wasn't the money. If he wanted to go somewhere else, he didn't want to be here. That's fine.
That's fine.
Anyways, I'm sorry to vent, but
no, it's the truth though, and I think that that's like why I enjoy having you on the show, because you're rational. You think about it as a human being and not just like, this is NHL. What's the video game?
Yeah, EA Sports, whatever. NHL.
Yeah, like my boyfriend's in the other room right now playing, doing like GM mode, and I'm like,
oh, that's my favorite.
I'm sure you're having fun, but that's not how this works, and it's not real life. You're not gonna just tank and magically be better the next year. I mean, look at what Colorado did. They had a rough stretch for 5 years, 6 years before they won the cup.
Oh yeah. They were basement dwellers. How long has McKinnon been in the league for? He was 2013. So like 8 years, let's say. He's been in the league. They were basement dwellers for 6 of those 8 years.
Yep.
They were only good for 2. Right? And maybe we'll say 2.5 the year that they put out the Flames, but still, we don't talk about that.
No, we don't. It was
a rough time. I know we're in a rough time right now, but that was a rough time. But yeah, it's crazy, and to see all the people online turning on him, calling him a snake. I get it. You're allowed to be upset. I saw a guy burn his Gaudreau jersey today.
You could have sent that to me.
Well, you didn't want to best. It was a fake. It was a fake.
Oh, never mind.
We don't support the counterfeit market.
No.
Anyways, he probably did himself a favor, actually. He didn't have to embarrass himself. Hannah and I like to play this game when we go to the Dome called Spot the Fake.
Yep.
We just walk around and we're like, she'll nod me on the shoulder. Is that one fake? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And
oh, yeah.
I love doing that.
Side note, I called a guy out. He was chirping me one time. I don't know why. We're both cheering for the Flames. I'm up in the nosebleeds. It was my buddy from the UK. Chirping me. And I looked at him like, man, at least I'm putting on a real jersey. Like, you're coming out here in at least I didn't buy a fake. He was wearing a Todd Bertuzzi jersey. I said, at least I'm not wearing a fake Bertuzzi jersey. He's like, oh, no, it's real. Funny enough, after the game, bump into him at the bar. He walks up to me. I'm like, oh, God. He now taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, man. He's like, how did you know this was fake? And I'm like, okay, I guess we're on good terms now. Let me explain to you. And anyway, that's my fake jersey story.
As a Jackets fan, I understand the pain. We've lost a few big free agents. Ultimately, you want, exactly. And I think that's the thing, is like, you want a player to want to be there. Thank you. Please take care of him.
I trust that you guys will take care of him, because Yeah, I just know that anywhere he was going, I'm sure he was going to be well taken care of. I'm actually kind of happy that like I think I like the Columbus fan base.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know many Blue Jackets fans, but from what I understand, they're like you know, I feel like they almost kind of remind me of Flames fans, like
They
the smaller market,
Yeah, they're not
very
insane.
passionate, not
Yeah.
crazy. Like they're not Rangers fans, they're not Bruins fans, but
Mm.
they're kind of just like you can't even dispute that.
No, I can't because when I started covering the Flames, I expected it to be a bunch of, like, horrible people in my mentions when I, like, held the team accountable, and they're like, "No, like, you're right."
Oh
"Oh,
wow, thank you.
okay, no one's gonna come burn my house down, sweet."
Yeah, no doubt,
But
no doubt.
please take care of Uncle Jim as
Oh,
well. Gonna
Jim,
miss
that's
him.
gonna be so sad. That guy, the Blue Jackets fan base will soon come to realize just how salt of the earth this guy is. Uh, yeah, take care of Uncle Jim. I'm sure he'll still be lingering on Flames Twitter as he does.
Of
He's
course,
made some good friends on Flames Twitter. But just you wait till Uncle Jim starts following all the Blue Jackets fans and interacting with all your tweets and everything. So,
mhm.
you want to read that comment there?
Yeah, I'm born in Calgary, so I'm always pro Calgary, not pro players. So if you leave, you don't get love anymore unless you're Kipper or Ginla. I guess
Iginla
it's
wanted out.
yeah,
Iginla asked for a trade. I don't understand, like, walking in free agency and asking for a trade.
they're so different.
Yeah. I
It's
don't know. They're so different, but they're also like so similar. You know,
yeah,
like I think it's just like nobody gave Iginla that, and I guess and don't quote me that I'm comparing apples to oranges. Iginla and Gaudreau are not the same. They are not
no.
the same. I'm sorry.
No, I had this
Um,
conversation last night.
right, they're not the same. But like Iginla asks for a trade, nobody bats an eye. Gaudreau walks in free agency. I guess the difference is you're getting something in return for Iginla. But let me take you back to the Iginla trade. Did you really? Did you really get anything for Iginla? You got nothing for Iginla. Pittsburgh they were crying, laughing at you, looking at the
Right.
picks that the Flames made with those first round picks um, that they got. So it was whatever. You lost him for you lost him for nothing too, and he wanted to leave. So like I don't know. I'm just different than everybody else, or we are, and I know there's other people that think the same way as us. We're few and far between at this point right now,
I think
but
it's
like
because we're entrenched in the industry. I
yeah,
think that's what it is. I really
yeah.
do.
I don't know. Like this whole time, I wasn't holding my breath. I can't blame the guy for wanting to do something that
Yeah.
betters himself and betters his family, and he wants to do this, then let him do it. Like he's earned the right to do so. He's given 8 solid years with this team. They didn't amass too much until this season was supposed to be different. They really didn't do much in those 8 years. It's whatever. It's I'm not losing sleep over it, and
No,
I'm more so happy for him than anything else. I know
exactly.
you're the same way.
Yeah. Like, there are certain players where I am kind of like, "Okay, well, don't let the door hit you on the way out." Not on the Flames, but in the past with the Bruins and whatnot, because, like, okay, I'm sorry that you hated it here so much, but also, were you gonna contend anywhere else? So, like, I get that,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like, they have to do what's best for them. They have
Yeah.
to, and if I think the funniest thing is last winter, there was a really bad snowstorm in Boston, and Aginla was at a rest stop, and someone interviewed him, and it didn't even say, like,
Boston
Jerome
man.
Iginla. It just said, um, like, Massachusetts resident or something like
Yeah.
that, and I was like, "Do you that's
Yeah,
him."
that was so funny. Oh my god. I laughed so hard. And I know everybody on in Flames Land thought that one was funny too, but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I got to ask you something about this because it's been something I've been thinking about ever since this whole Columbus thing kind of unveiled and peeked its ugly head out at Flames fans. Um, Gaudreau's return to Calgary, if I can actually pull it
It's
up, I'd love
January 23rd.
January 23rd. Thank you for having that ready. What's the response? Because Twitter
All
is
love,
not happy. You think
all
so?
love. Because right now,
friggin' hope so.
I think it's still so raw for people, but that's less than 6 months away. So I think people are gonna be or no, it is like it's exactly 6 months and 10 days away.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like it's half a year from
wounds
now.
will heal by then. I mean, I don't think like unless he puts up a hat trick, I really don't think it's gonna be like salt in the wounds or something. But
No.
I love a good revenge game. Uh, my plan is to make it out to Calgary this season, so maybe I do go in the dead of winter to see this.
Bold. Bold choice.
Yeah,
Bold
I
choice.
know.
Let's see how this works out for
Yeah,
you.
I know. I'm like, am I even gonna get there if I
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I'm not gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but
no.
it's gonna
But
be
I hope it's all love. I think yeah, I definitely
yeah,
think
I
they'll
think so
welcome him
too.
back. Even though, there wasn't a lot of success in his tenure, I
Mhm.
think that this was a good foundation for him to go and make the next step, and he knows what it takes to play. Could I name you 3 players on the Blue Jackets right now? Probably not. I
Let me try. Can I
we're
try that exercise?
speaking
I'm gonna say Werenski,
Oh, yeah. Zach Werenski.
Voracek's there now. Oh,
That's
and Cole
right.
Sillinger.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, so
Because he played for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and the Flames should have picked him, but they didn't.
yes. Out of curiosity, Columbus signed Goodbranson today.
What's your thoughts on him? We have a lot of young defensemen and needed some toughness and veteran presence. I'll tell you what, if I can quickly jump in and then
Yeah, go
you can share
ahead.
your 2 cents. Y'all paid too much for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Four
Patrick
by
Laine is
four,
like
you can think. Well, he's technically UFA. He's not,
oh,
or
yeah, true.
RFA, so he needs money first. So technically, kind of not really. Sorry.
You're not
4x4
wrong.
is a lot, and he should be thanking Daryl Sutter, kissing his feet for making a system that he, greatly benefited playing in, to the point where now he's set up. He's making $4 million a year for the next 4 years. And Brad in his press conference today, I'm not sure if you listened to it, but
No.
he said they did talk to Eric. They definitely were um, out of their pay range to bring him out, or to bring him back at that money. So there's no way that he was coming back here. But yeah, 4x4 is a lot. We shall see just how that goes. If the Sutter system rubs off on him and he can help bring that to Columbus, or if they're going to play a completely different structure than what he's used to, and doesn't blow up in his face, but definitely not the Eric Goodbranson that we saw this past season. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm hopeful for him. He, again, no real quails with him.
Yeah.
He was a good third pairing guy this year.
Yeah, that's really it, I think, for him. Again, giant overpayment. I
Mhm.
was shocked to
Yeah, I
see
was surprised to see that too.
4x4. I thought it was gonna be maybe 2.5 because,
That's kind of what I thought, but I thought it was gonna be like a 5 by 2.5.
yeah. Oh, Nikita Zadorov just signed with the Flames.
Oh,
2 years at 3.75.
so Zadorov is back.
Ah,
Breaking news on Locked On
right?
Flames. Do we have a breaking
And
news a bug?
right, I wish I had, like, sounds.
Breaking news
And
on.
that's so funny because someone in here just commented Zadorov is still on the market. Yeah.
It turns out,
You were on to
um,
something.
yeah. So his agent Dan Milstein, reporting it first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Look, people are going to be upset about the term, or not the term, but the dollars. What was it again? What did you say? 3.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's steep.
It
It's
is.
steep, but whatever. It is what it
I
is at this point. I don't know what the Flames are right now, anyways. Like,
know I don't know what they're
it's
doing.
so hard to gauge anything because I just don't know what they are without John, and with Kachuk kind of just lingering in Greece right now, doing living his best Mamma Mia life.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what they are.
No.
So
But I said this on one of the episodes. I said, If I had to lose Goodbranson or Zadorov, I would want it to be Goodbranson. So even though Nikita takes those big penalties that kind of bite the Flames in the butt, I do think that keeping one or the other was okay. Like I wasn't.
I'm curious now on Shillington.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to look like.
No.
Because he wasn't really poised to start the year in Calgary. Last year, I don't know. I don't know if that's writing on the wall for someone like that, or are they going to bring him back too and run Valimaki or Mackey? I thought there was a good chance that both Zadorov and Goodbranson left, and we saw a third pairing of Valimaki and Connor Mackey. If by some miracle, Valimaki and Daryl Sutter can kiss and make up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, do you think that has any implications to Shillington?
I don't know. I really don't, because I think Shillington doesn't have a lot of leverage right now. Obviously it was very exciting to see him break the NHL roster this year and see all of that, but is he gonna are they gonna offer him something that's worth signing for? I know he's an RFA, so they still have the rights and whatnot, but I don't know.
He's qualified. They qualified him. They tendered a qualifying offer. So I don't know. Is he ARB eligible?
No, I think the only one ARB eligible is Mangiapane.
Right.
Which, okay. Say Tkachuk signs his QO. He's here for at least just the year. You can't get him to sign a long-term deal. Do you obviously trade him at some point?
You have to.
In the next month, in the next year. And do you start rebuilding around Mangiapane? This team doesn't rebuild. I know that word is like forbidden. Do you start building around Mangiapane?
It would have to be like a retool, but honestly, now is the time. Like, now is the time to tank. Like, first overall is going to be a pretty hot commodity next year with Connor Bedard coming into the league, and he's going to take this league by storm. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a retool. I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's Brad Treliving initiating it. It won't be Brad, which is unfortunate because I think he's done a lot of good things this past year. You could tell in his presser last night how upset he truly was that John wasn't coming back.
He was fighting back tears, it sounded like.
It was a hard listen. I couldn't find the video feed, so I just listened on Sportsnet 960. But you could tell it was tough. He was having a hard time. But either way, I don't think that it's Brad at the helm. If that does kind of end up coming to fruition. But I don't know I don't know if it's around Monge because he's what is he, 20? He's gonna be 26.
I think he's 24, 25.
Is he? Okay, let me look.
He's 26 because he has the same birthday as. Yeah.
April 4th, 96. So yeah, he's 26. I don't know. I don't know if it's you build around someone like that or if you start graduating some minor league players like Peltiers and the Zaris and the Coronados of the world into the system and going from there. But they won't rebuild so long as Daryl Sutter is the head coach. He did not come here for a rebuild. He came here to win a Stanley Cup.
Which could have probably done in the next few years if someone stayed, but we're not bitter. It's fine.
John, why'd you do this to us?
I kept holding out today that he was going to reconsider, and he was like, "No, I want to win."
In Columbus, Ohio.
Right. Like, yeah, if you want to win it, like, I don't know. But, I mean, I can't wrap my head around this team not pushing some of their AHL forwards up within the next year or two, I would say.
It'll happen sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think Ruzicka is set. I like what we saw from him. Brad hitched his way. Yeah. He hitched his wagon
Yeah.
to Gaudreau and Kachuk. They go. He goes. Yeah, I don't see a lot of bright days ahead like we saw last season. Everything felt so bright.
Everything was that off season last year was a completely euphoric feeling compared to what we're going through right now. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It might be a tough few years. It seems like this division just everybody else got slightly better, and the Flames kind of did not.
Yeah.
I think there's value to trying to spin it to Kachuk as well. Just to this last comment here, hoping Kachuk wants to stay and be the leader. I think there's value to spinning to him that, you could almost sell what you tried to sell to John to him, and the fact that, like, okay, you and I talked about it the last time we were on one of these, just like, do you want to build a legacy? Do you want to have the statue? Do you want your number hanging from the rafters one day?
Chuck does.
Exactly.
I guarantee it.
Exactly. And they're gonna slap a C on his chest. So I don't know. I'm not as kind of down in the dumps about them trying to bring him back, because I think that there's probably a pretty good chance they can.
For God's sake, Brady signed an 8-year deal in Ottawa.
Okay,
and then look what happened. Things got better.
Right?
We're gonna be okay.
Brady literally just said, I need some help at the end of last season, and now the Senators are having the best offseason in the NHL. In the entire league.
3 hours from Ottawa, and it's like all back roads, but I'm gonna go.
You should. I lived in Ottawa for 4 years. And that was during the Eric Carlson, Mark Stone, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, Craig Anderson, Bobby Ryan years. Danny Heatley, Mike Fisher, Alfredson. That was a fun time to watch Ottawa. This is the second coming of that.
Yeah.
This is the second coming of that. They just moved Connor Brown too today, so they're going to have even more space to, I don't know, go out and get a Chikrin, go out and get a Uyghur, go out and get, bolster up that blue line. It's going to be a fun team.
It is. And, let that be kind of the silver lining to all of this, that, the Ottawa Senators were kind of a joke and still are kind of a joke, but not so much.
Look at them now. They have one of the best top sixes in the entire league.
Right. And that's why it's okay to be kind of okay, see, I think that he was just immature. Audie? Yes?
I think that number 5 had something to do with that.
Yeah, there was absolutely a rift in the room because of that. And isn't it amazing? Okay, I say this with all the love to Gio as a person. He is a great community leader. There was a rift in the room because of the things that he did. And I don't think that, I don't know, I think people were like okay with Chucky kind of being a pest.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the game against Toronto where Muzzin flipped the puck to him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said something and was like, cut the nonsense.
And then all of a sudden there was one player removed and Kachuk had a great season. It's funny how that worked.
I was saying, isn't it funny how
I'm not putting all the blame on Gio. I'm not putting all the blame on Gio. I don't want to be like that because I loved Gio.
Yeah.
But I do think that there was something to do with that. I don't think there's a disconnect anymore. Or discontent, sorry, is what you said. I don't think that discontent is there. I think a lot of people see him as a leader. He wears an A on his chest for that very reason.
Yeah.
This next comment saying, I truly do believe Chucky can save this team. Crying, laughing emoji number 1. If he commits, or is that a fingers crossed? I can't tell. Oh no, it's the number 1 emoji.
That's number 1.
It's like I cannot see.
I need a magnifying glass.
If he commits, and I think he can now with Johnny gone. Well, it does make it a lot easier cap-wise to only have to pay one of them. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. You would have rather been paying both, but it certainly makes it a lot more flexible and a lot easier for you to spin to him that, hey, we've got this money for you now. We want you long term. We want you with the C on your chest. look at what happened with
you proved
Brady
to
and
us
his.
last year
Yeah, exactly.
you can do it.
Exactly. I
Just
just don't know.
beat the
He had
ego.
the best season of his life on the opposite wing of John Gaudreau and Elias Lindholm down the middle. Why didn't the Flames have a C last year? That was just an internal decision that they didn't want
Yeah,
to. They didn't want to. They weren't ready to announce a captain yet, so they ran with 3 alternates.
which I think is fine. I would
Yeah.
rather them wait than name
Mhm.
someone prematurely. And
This
I
might
mean,
be a good bargaining chip too for Kachuk, for if you're the
exactly.
Flame.
They like the ball is truly in the Kachuk's court,
Mhm.
like fully with all of the negotiation tactics. Well, you have extra money from John not
Mhm.
signing. Do you
Mhm.
want to have extra cap space? Because I'll go
Yeah.
too. If you don't name me a captain, I don't think he would do that. I think it'd
I
be
don't think he
smart.
would do that. I don't think he'd go that far.
No,
That's
but I
pretty
think it
bad.
could get intense.
It
I think
could, and we know how the Kachucks operate. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. The last time we went through this with Matthew, it was hell.
See,
And look at what
I
Ottawa just.
wasn't here for that.
Oh, it was
So,
bad. It was bad. It
yeah.
was bad. They were on the ice doing, like, I was covering training camp, and Matthew was nowhere to be seen. There was no updates. We didn't know what was going on. Everybody said he wanted to be the highest player. That was when they wouldn't go above the 6.75 that Gio made. They weren't handing out above that. They thought that they wanted to cap that out at Gio.
That's
Um,
ridiculous. That's such
it
a
was, it was, and that was a different iteration of this team. Thank God. Um, but it was not fun, especially covering this team and trying to figure out, like, stuff to talk about and write about and make videos
yeah,
about for training camp.
I'm not spending all of August on Matthew Tkachuk
No,
watch. I'm not doing it. I
no,
will dedicate maybe one show a month. We'll
it's
do
not fun.
No, it's not worth dedicating all that extra time to and that energy because all you can do is speculate.
Oh
Um,
no, the
oh
bots. We got
no.
the bots. Do you have
It's
a
okay, I just
mod?
blocked them.
Okay, thank God. I was gonna say, do you have a moderator?
Oh my
This happens all the time when we did Game Over Stanley Cup this year, and it
yeah.
was like, thank God to our producer who just nipped that right away. But
Oh
yeah,
my
that'll happen. You've made it when.
I know, I was just gonna say, that's, like, the second time, today something's been happening in the live chat. Earlier today on the live show, so as soon as it was my turn to speak, someone commented, "Locked On Flames needs a new host," and I was like, "Yeah, you're so right. Like, send me your resume." Like,
I saw
but
that. Yeah, no, they do not. Just a side
no.
note: Locked On Flames does not need a new host. Things are fantastic with you at the helm. So
Yeah, and it's even better now that you're coming on once a week, and it's fun to just, like, shoot ideas off of you and be like,
it's
"Listen."
it's crazy, like, how long ago it was that I was supposed to start coming on regularly, and then everything just went to hell for me, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is crazy. I felt so bad. I was messaging you like every week. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
No,
I want to do this.
it was honestly fine because at the time I was wrapping up the semester, doing horribly in my at my job. I hated it. I was
I
so
remember that.
drained. I
Yeah,
never
you
wanted to
hated that.
interact with people.
Mhm.
So now that I left that and I'm just like, I'm a new woman. I'm so happy. I'm re-energized. I don't
That's
know if
good.
I'm supposed to like be happy that, the Flames are kind of gonna be bad.
They're in a
But
pickle. They're in a
yeah.
pickle. I think that's kinda all we can really say now with some uncertainty with 19. We don't know what's going on with 88. We don't know what's going on with 58. We know what happened with 13. We're slowly getting answers, but at the same time, it's like we just don't really, like, there's still so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
The question is now, is Kachuk going to sign a $9 million qualifying offer and then jet out of here? Or are they going to somehow be able to get him
Right.
signed for 8 years? We don't
And the
know.
thing there is, I know he's good friends with Robert Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
who just signed an 8-year extension in St.
Mm-hmm.
Louis. And I saw
He
that and I was like,
secured that bag, and he just so happened to post it on his Instagram story as
yeah,
well.
he was like, wow. I was like, yeah, Matthew, that could be you too.
Yeah,
You could get your bag.
Yeah. Stop doing
Okay.
ABBA karaoke in Greece and let's go. And let's go. Are they in Greece? Or am I making that up?
They were in Greece. They're
Oh, okay.
supposedly home. They left. They post bye Greece.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It must be nice.
Yeah. How is it being rich and being able to choose where you want to go on vacation? I was on vacation in February and I didn't even get to choose. I'm just like, yeah, you're in this wedding, so you have to go on
Yeah.
vacation.
I'm going
Not that I'm upset about going to Mexico. But
no, I'm going on vacation. I say downstate in New York. It's literally an hour and a half away. Just to a nice lake, and
nice.
I will be
Very
on my Bobby Margarita time because I don't get time off. So
You got to take advantage when you can.
I told my mom, I said, it has to be after free agency. If we're going, has to be well after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now you've got your, one piece of the puzzle that you don't have to worry so much about.
Yep.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. This city is enjoying Stampede right now, so I hope that maybe that's the one bright spot about everything that transpired today is that everybody can go drown their sorrows at the Cowboys tent tonight and
Yeah.
go watch
I
the rodeo and eat a Midway corn dog.
Dylan Dubé, is he there? I know he was there
Probably.
last year.
Oh, he lives in he's from Cochrane or he's from Golden. Family lives in Cochrane. I don't know if he lives in Cochrane in the off season, but he's an Alberta boy.
Okay, cool. Because
So
I didn't know, like,
I would
know that.
imagine I could probably find out.
Yeah.
But one of my really good buddies is like best friends with the Dubé family. So
Oh,
it's I know it's nice. My buddy with who got me the job with the Dragons. So
shout out
yeah,
to him.
shout out Connor
Also,
Boyd.
do you think now this is what I thought at the trade deadline. Speaking of Dylan Dubé,
Mm-hmm.
could you maybe make him a trading piece? I can't even talk today. Sorry, it's been such a long day.
That's okay. It's been
Like, do you
exhausting and like
package him? Do you send
you
him?
maybe I don't know what you're getting in
Me neither.
return. I don't think you move him unless like I honestly I don't think it makes sense.
Okay.
The Flames need wingers who can play hockey, not named Milan Lucic. So I personally don't think it makes sense right now
Okay.
to explore
Yeah.
it. Maybe sometime down the line, like if the Flames are absolute doo doo and Matthew Tkachuk signs his $9 million qualifying offer and you got to trade everybody at the deadline for assets, maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't know what you get for him right now. Yeah, I still think there's more there too. I think Dubé is
Yeah, because
there's still left to he's only 23 or 24.
he's the baby.
Yeah, so there's still
He's
something there.
23.
Yeah, so there's still something there that I don't think he's reached yet. And I'm
Mhm.
excited to see if maybe an opportunity up the lineup with now an absent Gaudreau possibly opens the door for him to take on a bigger role and kind of grow a little bit more. So we'll see. I'm not too sure what happens there.
Yeah. I think what you could do with this lineup that they have right now. No, I thought they were signing made up players today, to be honest. I didn't know like any of them. But you move Mangiapane up to the top line, maybe, and then you shuffle around. Let's say Sean Monahan's not ready. You have Backlund and Toffoli down the middle somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what you do, but I think
Yeah,
Dubé needs to be moved up. I think that
yeah.
what is Monahan's future? Listen, your guess is as good as mine.
Set of crutches for the immediate future. Actually, he looked okay at his wedding, but
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like for Sean Monahan. He's going to start the year on LTIR.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of money there, but you're going to have to probably take him off LTIR at some point. So you need to find that money again. You cannot trade a player while he's on LTIR. You cannot buy out a player while he's on LTIR. So they basically have to wait till he gets healthy. They can. Okay, so sorry. Let me backtrack that. You can trade a player on LTIR with their approval, which they're going to have to get anyways because he's got a no trade list. So we'll see what happens. He's got 1 year left on his deal. You probably, if you're the Flames, you probably just bite the bullet and then say goodbye in the offseason. Same thing with Milan Lucic. And then there's a really good chunk of money for
Like
a free agent
13
next year,
million.
a trade. Yeah. Like a substantial amount of money.
Yeah.
So,
which I think is fine. I'm
yeah,
not.
you're not going to bat an eye because, hopefully you hope that Peltier makes the team at a camp this year. There's a winger that can easily backfill down the road for a guy like Lucic. You hope that Ruzicka makes the team, and there's your center option for, an eventual Monahan departure. Does
Trevor
Matty
Lewis,
Phillips?
he's back.
Trevor Lewis is back. Does Matty Phillips crack a lineup spot? He had one of the best years in the AHL last year, and he's a gentleman, absolute beauty. He is, just a good Calgary boy. He's from Calgary. We talked about when I interviewed him the first time. We were talking about all the golf courses and stuff, because he's a big avid golfer. We're talking about they do like in Stockton they had like golf. They would do like golf trips all the time. So he's a very avid golfer, and his grandfather is adorable.
Oh,
They did this feature on him during one of the preseason games, and they actually brought his grandpa out to. He's from Newfoundland.
oh
And
yes.
so he's from out east, Newfoundland or Nova Scotia, something like that. But he's from out east, East Coast guy. So they brought him out, and yeah, his grandpa was there. They did a nice little feature on him. So hopefully he gets a spot, and his grandpa can be happy about his grandson making the NHL. But what I'm trying to say is, I think there's options beyond this year if you're comfortable with just kind of letting the Monahan money and the Lucic money take care of itself this year. You're still going to pay them. I don't know. I just don't think there's like they got to figure out what direction they want to take before they make a decision on that. Anyways, just because like you could pay to get rid of those guys, or you want to retool and you just eat the cost for this year and you let them walk next year, and then all of a sudden you've got a boatload of cap space. So I don't exactly know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to say the least.
It is for sure. I'm not sold yet on how this season's gonna go. Do I think it's gonna be bad? I mean, I don't know.
Could be.
I don't think it's gonna be anything like last year, but that's fine. Because you don't repeat seasons like that.
Well, especially when your best player walks.
Right. You're not gonna do that. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions here. The Flames have time. The clock is ticking for those RFAs because I don't want to wait forever.
Me neither. I don't want to wait anymore for anything. I just kind of want to know what's going on. Brad's going to take his sweet time as he does, and we'll find something out pretty soon. I would hope.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
I would like to. I don't know. I'm kind of set on Mangiapane signing a longer term deal because his agent last year said I'm not interested in a 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah. We still have Lindholm and Toffoli. Can't be super bad. Yeah, they won't be terrible, but I think they've only got
back to middle
those guys for 2 more years. So you got them this year and a year after. So you got to figure out. Same with Hanifin, I believe. I think in the next 2 years, the only Flames under contract that are under contract now will be Rasmus Anderson, Jacob Markstrom, and I'm missing someone. I can't remember. I think there's only Tanev. Is it Tanev? Yeah,
I think so. I think so.
Let's open up their cap friendly because either way, if you're gonna rebuild, like all of those guys are off the books in 2 years. There's your rebuild window.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What we thought was the window for the cup.
Yeah, Jesus, right? The potential rebuild.
Yeah,
what is going on with this? Calgary Flames cap. It's going to bug me if I don't check.
How much changes in a year?
Sorry, Coleman was the only other one.
Oh, yeah. Blake Coleman. Forgot about him.
Yeah, Coleman is the only other one. Tanev will be. Yeah, so next 2 years, Backlund will be up. Lucic will be gone. Lindholm's up. Toffoli's up. Dubé is up. Kevin Rooney is up. Trevor Lewis is gone.
Listen, when I saw Kevin Rooney to the Flames,
he's not very good.
No, I said that I only know this man exists because of Twitter.
Yeah.
And that girl who used to go, I think her name is Steph. She used to go to all the Devils games and be
Oh
on the
yeah.
glass for him. That was her emotional support fourth liner, which I fully respect. I understand. Listen,
Everybody's got one.
everyone has one.
Yep.
But that's who this team is bringing in. I hope Wolf is ready in 2 years.
I wouldn't put it past it.
I hope
Put it
he's ready
past
in
him.
1.
But Jacob Markstrom will still be under contract in 2
Yeah.
years. So
That's
you
what's
either have to move him or he's a $6 million 1B.
and
So
he's not gonna take that.
no, pick your poison. The guy started 50 something games this year, 60 something games,
63.
60 something games this year.
Yep.
He's not
Career
here to
high.
be he's not here to be a 1B. Daryl Sutter will not play him as a 1B. Dustin Wolf's a little guy. He doesn't like little guys. Oh, Jess, it's gonna be so crazy. These next few weeks, these coming days, it's gonna be a crazy time here in Calgary. And you're feeling it down there too.
I am. It's like the aftershock of an earthquake.
Yeah,
You just
it's
feel it all
crazy.
over. Oh man. So hopefully the Flames can redeem themselves a fraction of a forward. Could do something. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Or someone just needs to I'm not encouraging performance enhancing drugs, but start eating your Wheaties.
Eat your Built Bars.
Yeah, eat your Built Bars. Use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off of your next order. Thanks, Audie.
Perfect. I got you.
Yeah, and
I
drink
got
your
you.
athletic greens. Your
Drink your athletic greens.
AG1.
AG1.
Yeah.
Mix
Oh,
that in
man.
a smoothie. Got all your greens for the day. Don't even know what's there. We've tried it. You don't even
Doesn't
know what's
taste like
there.
anything.
No. And they got cool bottles and stuff.
They do. One time I made a margarita in the bottle because it was the only shaker that I had.
I've used it for everything except for like everyday liquids. Like I think I've used it for like every type of alcohol. Trying to bring you going over to your buddy's house and you just want to
Yeah.
bring, I don't know, you're
Bring your
making
own.
mixed drinks outside. It's just an easy little
It is. And the
and you
cap
can mix your AG1 greens in there when you
yeah,
get here.
if
If you're like,
those
oh geez, I didn't eat enough vegetables today.
Exactly.
Uh,
Well, do you want to wrap this up and
yeah, I think we've said what we want to say about John. We wish him all the best. There was never any ill intent or ill wishes from either of us here towards him. We both respect what he's done for Calgary and his decisions for the rest of his life. So I will never be upset at that man.
never?
He did what he had to do.
I was going to be more upset if he became a Flyer and started saying nice things about Tony D'Angelo.
That's right. So we don't have to worry about
That was
that.
how he was going to make an enemy out of me.
That's right. I remember you texted me that. Yeah, that was funny. But no, I think that's it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at Audie James. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto and follow the show's Twitter feed at LO_FlamesPod.